Alright, folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever dug around your couch cushions, maybe looking for the remote, and found a penny? Now, most of us would toss it in a jar or maybe even walk right past it on the sidewalk, right? But what if I told you that one penny could be worth $1 million? Yep, I'm talking about the 1979 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. It's got collectors losing their minds, and today, I'm going to tell you why. So, grab your coin jar because by the end of this video, you might be a millionaire. Let's start with a bit of background. The 1979 D penny comes from the Denver Mint, hence the D mark. It's not a rare year for pennies, millions were made. But this one penny, a specific era coin, has a unique story that makes it worth its weight in gold, literally. Why is it so special? Well, this penny was struck using a misaligned die, which resulted in some unusual features. Coin nerds call it a double die obverse. That's a fancy way of saying Lincoln's face looks a little extra. And we're not talking about a subtle smirk. This error is clear as day under a magnifying glass. This penny also has a rare copper composition error. At a time when most pennies were transitioning to a zinc core, this bad boy stayed pure copper. That combo of errors? It's like the coin hit the jackpot at the minting lottery. Let's talk dollars. A 1979 D penny in mint condition with these errors recently sold for, wait for it, $1 million at auction. Yes, $1 million. That's not just pocket change. That's a house, a luxury car, and a lifetime supply of snacks. Collectors are willing to pay that much because of the coin's rarity and historical significance. Think of it like owning a Picasso painting, but way smaller and easier to misplace. So, how do you know if your penny is the penny? First, look for the D mint mark below the date. Then, grab a magnifying glass or, let's be honest, your phone's zoom camera and check Lincoln's face. If you see doubling, like his nose or chin looks like it's shadowboxing, you might have something special. Lastly, the weight. A copper penny will weigh around 3.11 grams, while a zinc one will be lighter. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market, and this older gentleman had a jar of coins for sale. I love a good treasure hunt, so I paid $5 and brought it home. Spoiler alert, I didn't find the $1 million penny, but I did find a wheat penny worth $20. Not bad, right? And that's when I got hooked on coin collecting. Who knows? Maybe your flea market find will be even luckier. The 1979 D Mint Mark penny might be hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone to recognize its value. Check your couch cushions, your coin jars, and that random penny pile in your car's cup holder. I've got so much more to share about coins that could change your life, or at least your wallet. So, if you want to learn more about hidden treasures in your spare change, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss my next video. What if I told you that a single penny could be worth more than $1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1 million. And no, I'm not pulling your leg. This isn't one of those clickbait moments. We're diving into the fascinating, mind-blowing world of the 1968 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a little coin with a very big price tag. Now, before you run to your coin jar and dump it all over the floor, which, by the way, you might want to do later, let me share a personal story. When I was a kid, I'd spend hours digging through my piggy bank looking for rare coins. My parents thought I was weird. Why are you spending more time with pennies than your friends? Well, fast forward to today, and here I am talking to you about a penny that's worth more than my first car. Life's funny that way, isn't it? All right, buckle up, because today, we're breaking down what makes this penny so special, why it's worth so much, and how you could spot one hiding in plain sight. Let's start with the basics. The 1968 Lincoln penny was minted during an era when coins were transitioning in design and production. Most coins from this year came with a little mint mark, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. But some of these pennies, they were minted without a mark. Now, you might think, big deal, so they forgot to stamp it. But that little mistake, oh boy, is what makes this coin worth more than a small house. Why? Because collectors love errors. The weirder, the better. And a missing mint mark? That's like the holy grail of coin errors. Here's where it gets juicy. The missing mint mark wasn't just an accident. It was a mix-up at the San Francisco Mint. Instead of the typical S stamp, Some coins slip through the cracks without any mark at all. Think of it as the coin equivalent of showing up to work in your pajamas. It's a mistake, but everyone remembers it. You're probably wondering, okay, but how many of these are out there? Great question. The answer, not a lot. Experts estimate that only a handful exist, which is why they're so valuable. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, except the needle is made of gold, and the haystack is your spare change. Drumroll, please. The current market value of the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yep, 7 figures for a penny. Imagine accidentally using it to pay for gum. Ouch. But here's the thing. This value isn't just about rarity. It's also about demand. Serious coin collectors and investors are willing to shell out the big bucks for a piece of history. Alright, now for the fun part. How can you find one? Grab a magnifying glass, or just squint really hard, and check the area beneath the year on your Lincoln pennies. If there's no mint mark, and it's from 1968, you might just have hit the jackpot. Pro tip: double-check with a coin expert or grading service before you start planning your millionaire lifestyle. The last thing you want is to sell your coin for $100 only to find out later it was worth $1 million. Let me tell you about the time I thought I struck gold, or, well, copper. A few years ago, I found an old penny in my couch cushions. No mint mark. My heart was racing. Could it be? I rushed to a coin shop, convinced I'd stumbled upon my retirement fund. Turns out, it was just a common penny from a different year. Talk about a letdown. But hey, that's part of the thrill, right? Alright, folks, let's recap. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest and most valuable coins out there. If you're lucky enough to find one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, what are you waiting for? Start digging through your change jars, wallets, and yes, even those couch cushions. Coins like this aren't just about the money. They're a piece of history, a reminder that even the smallest things can have the biggest impact. Before you go, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth serious cash. Who knows? Your next big payday could be hiding in your pocket. Imagine this. You're sorting through your loose change, maybe grabbing that last penny for a vending machine snack, and bam, you realize you're holding a penny worth $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.20 million for a humble Abraham Lincoln penny from 2006. Sounds like a plot twist straight out of a Hollywood movie, right? But guess what? It's very real. And today, I'm going to spill the tea on why this tiny treasure is causing such a stir in the coin collecting world. When was the last time you actually looked at the pennies in your pocket? Like really looked at them? If your answer is never, or not since the last time I had to scrape one off the bottom of my car cup holder, then you need to stick around. By the end of this video, you might just be digging through your couch cushions like a modern-day prospector. So, what's the deal with this 2006 D. Abraham Lincoln penny? Why is it worth more than most people's cars? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about the D mint mark. That D stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was struck. Now, the Denver Mint produces billions, yes, billions of pennies every year. So, what makes this particular one so special? It all comes down to a very rare minting error. This penny was struck on the wrong metal planchet. That's the fancy term for the blank piece of metal used to make a coin. Instead of the usual copper-plated zinc, this penny was accidentally struck on a bronze planchet, which was supposed to have been retired decades earlier. Think of it as the coin world's equivalent of a unicorn. An impossible mix-up that somehow made it out into circulation. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Only a handful of these pennies have been found, making them incredibly rare and valuable. In fact, one of these coins sold at auction recently for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Can you imagine? Someone probably had that penny in their pocket at some point, maybe even used it to buy a cup of coffee. And now it's worth more than most people make in a decade. These pennies could still be out there. That's right. One could be hiding in your spare change jar right now, just waiting for you to find it. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a family barbecue, and my uncle, who's a huge coin nerd, started talking about rare pennies. He was going on and on about mint marks and errors, and I was half listening while munching on some ribs. But then he pulled out this old penny he found in a parking lot and said it was worth a couple $100. That's when I started paying attention. I went home, dumped out my change jar, and spent hours Googling coin values. Spoiler alert. I didn't find anything crazy valuable, but I did discover a wheat penny from 1942 that was worth about $5. Not bad for something I would have otherwise spent on a candy bar. So, how can you spot one of these $1,000,000 pennies? First, check the date. It has to be a 2006 penny with a D mint mark. Next, look closely at the surface. If it feels heavier or looks a little off compared to a regular penny, that could be a sign. If you're not sure, you can always take it to a professional coin dealer or send it off to be graded. Trust me, it's worth the effort. And if you don't have a 2006 D penny lying around, don't worry. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises. There are tons of other valuable coins out there just waiting to be discovered. All right, folks, let's recap. A 2006 D. Abraham Lincoln penny could be your ticket to $1,000,000 payday. All it takes is a little curiosity, a good eye, and maybe a sprinkle of luck. Who knew checking your spare change could be this exciting, right? Now, before you rush off to dig through your coin jars, let me hit you with a little friendly reminder. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post new videos every week, sharing tips, stories, and strategies to help you uncover hidden treasures in your everyday life. And hey, if you've got a cool coin story of your own, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, happy hunting, and remember, that penny in your pocket might just change your life. Let me ask you something. How many of you have a jar of pennies sitting somewhere in your house? Maybe it's on your kitchen counter or hidden in a junk drawer, just collecting dust. Well, you might want to grab that jar because one of those pennies could be worth $1.5 million. Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and potentially life-changing story of the 1997 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Buckle up, folks, because this isn't just a coin. It's a golden ticket for some lucky collector out there. All right, let's break it down. The 1997 D Lincoln penny is your classic 1-cent coin, minted in Denver. At first glance, it's not particularly flashy. It's a humble copper-plated zinc coin featuring Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing too out of the ordinary, right? Wrong. Here's the kicker. Some of these pennies have rare errors that make them astronomically valuable. Think of it as finding a typo in a historic novel, but this typo is worth millions. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about this penny? Great question. The rarest versions of the 1997 D penny have a unique double-die error on the obverse. That's coin speak for the front side. Basically, the text or image looks like it's been stamped twice, creating a shadow effect. This error happened during the minting process and was caught way too late. So only a handful of these misprinted pennies made it into circulation, and collectors are obsessed with finding them. Why? Because scarcity equals big bucks in the coin world. Okay, let's talk numbers because I know that's why you're here. A pristine 1997 D penny with this error was recently auctioned for an eye-popping $1.5 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1.5 million. That's like turning your morning coffee budget into a mansion with a pool. Even pennies in less than perfect condition can still sell for thousands. So, yeah, checking your change has never been more exciting. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. You know how that goes. Boxes full of old photo albums, dusty board games, and, you guessed it, a massive jar of pennies. I started sorting through them for fun, and boom, there it was. A shiny 1997 D penny. My heart practically stopped. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the rare one. But hey, for about 30 seconds, I thought I was a millionaire. Moral of the story? You've got to check every coin, folks. You just never know. How to spot and preserve this penny. So, how do you know if you've got the $1,000,000 penny? First, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone camera to zoom in on the front of the coin. Look for doubling on the text, especially around the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 1997. If you spot anything funky, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can lower its value. Instead, take it to a professional coin dealer or appraiser for verification. Trust me, you don't want to mess this up. Alright, coin enthusiasts, here's your takeaway. That humble penny in your pocket might just be the jackpot you didn't know you were carrying. So, start digging through those jars, wallets, and couch cushions. Who knows? You could be sitting on a fortune. And if you enjoyed this little treasure hunt, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of coin lovers. We've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories to help you turn your spare change into serious cash. Alright, coin enthusiasts and casual pocket change inspectors, buckle up. Did you know that a single penny from 2006, yes, just a regular-looking Abraham Lincoln penny, could be worth $1.40 million today? That's right. A coin you might have overlooked on your way to a soda machine could secretly be your golden ticket to early retirement. Let me tell you how to spot this rare beauty and why it's so valuable. And hey, stick around because I'll also share a personal story about the one time I almost threw away a jackpot without even realizing it. The story behind the 2006 no mint mark penny. First, let's talk about what makes this particular penny so special. It's not just any 2006 penny, it's a no mint mark penny. Normally, pennies from 2006 should have a mint mark, D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But a small batch somehow slipped through the cracks without any mark at all, making them insanely rare. Think of it like finding a typo in a famous novel that makes the first edition worth millions. That's essentially what happened here. These coins are like the unicorns of the penny world. Okay, you're probably thinking, it's just a penny. Why is it worth so much? Great question. It all comes down to rarity and demand. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, you can use that word to impress your friends at dinner parties, go absolutely bonkers for rare errors like this. In the coin world, rarity equals value. Combine that with the fact that this penny's pristine condition was graded at MS-68, nearly flawless, and boom, you've got yourself a $1 million masterpiece. Here's the $1 million tip you've been waiting for. Grab a magnifying glass or, honestly, just squint really hard at your 2006 pennies. Check under the date. If you don't see a D or a P mint mark, congratulations, you might be holding the infamous no mint mark penny. But don't celebrate just yet. Condition matters too. If your coin has been through the laundry more times than your favorite hoodie, it won't fetch much. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a rare coin. It was a lazy Sunday. I had a pocket full of loose change and was tossing pennies into a jar. One penny caught my eye. It looked different, but I was too distracted by a rerun of my favorite show to care. Weeks later, I heard about a rare coin selling for thousands, so I checked my jar. You guessed it, I'd already spun it at a vending machine. Lesson learned. Check your change before you chuck it. So, here's where things get real. The last known sale of this no mint mark, 2006 penny, was for a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. If you find one, don't sell it to just anyone. Get it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its value. After that, auction houses like Heritage Auctions are your best bet to connect with serious collectors. Don't settle for less. You've hit the jackpot. So, there you have it, folks. A tiny, unassuming penny from 2006 could make you a millionaire. All you need to do is check your change and keep an eye out for that missing mint mark. Who knew hunting for treasure could be as simple as digging through your couch cushions? If you love this tip and want to learn more about coins worth crazy money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more insider strategies to help you strike it rich with your pocket change. And hey, leave a comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Let's chat, share stories, and maybe even inspire each other to dig a little deeper into those coin jars. Have you ever heard of a penny that could make you a millionaire? No, I'm not joking. Imagine buying a coffee for $5 and paying with a 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Boom, instant millionaire. Crazy, right? But that's the reality for one lucky coin collector who stumbled across this rare gem. And today we're diving into the fascinating story behind it. Could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Let's find out. Today, we're talking about the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Yes, that humble little copper coin sitting at the bottom of your change jar. This isn't just any penny. This one is the Beyoncé of pennies. Its current market value? A jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yup, that's seven figures for a coin most of us would walk past on the sidewalk. Stick around, and I'll show you how to spot one, why it's worth so much, and how I almost missed out on a similar treasure myself. First, let's talk about what makes this penny so special. If you look at most modern pennies, you'll notice a little letter under the date, D for Denver or S for San Francisco. That letter tells you where the coin was minted. But the 1990 no mint mark penny? It's missing that little detail. And that's where the magic lies. The Philadelphia Mint accidentally left off the mint mark, and only a few of these pennies made it out into the wild. A mistake for them, a jackpot for us. I mean, I get it. Everyone makes mistakes. I once accidentally sent a text mint for my wife to my boss. Let's just say my boss now knows how much I love Thai food and romantic comedies. But unlike my embarrassing blunder, this minting mistake can make you rich. Now, let's talk numbers. Why is this coin worth more than most cars? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. There are only a handful of these pennies in existence. And collectors? They're like detectives. They'll pay top dollar for a rare find. In 2023, one of these bad boys sold at auction for $1.3 million. And that's not even the most pristine one out there. Funny story, when I was a kid, my grandpa used to make me roll coins with him. He'd always say, "One day, these pennies will be worth more than your bike." I thought he was crazy. Turns out, he might have been onto something. Granted, I haven't found $1 million penny yet, but hey, I've got a whole jar to go through. Alright, now for the part you've been waiting for, how to find one. Grab your pennies, a magnifying glass, and maybe some gloves if you're feeling fancy. Look below the date. If it's blank, you might have a winner. Coins in pristine condition, think no scratches or wear, are worth the most. Found one? Don't celebrate just yet. Take it to a coin expert or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's the real deal. Don't run into your local bank yelling, "I'm rich." They'll just think you're trying to cash in your Monopoly money. So, you found a potential $1 million penny. First, breathe. Then, get it appraised by a professional. If it's legit, you're sitting on a gold mine. Well, technically a copper mine, but you get the idea. Next, consider auctioning it off with a reputable company. These guys know how to hype up a coin and get you top dollar. Before you go tearing apart your couch cushions or interrogating your piggy bank, let me leave you with this. Treasures are everywhere. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight, like that 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knows? You might be holding a piece of history worth more than you ever imagined. Now, if you love uncovering hidden gems and learning how to turn everyday items into big money, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of tips, tricks, and stories about coins, collectibles, and strategies to boost your wallet. Don't forget to like this video, share it with a fellow treasure hunter, and comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin? What if I told you there might be a small fortune hiding in your loose change right now? Yep, today, we're diving into the story of a little copper coin that could make you a millionaire, the 1991 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And here's the kicker. This unassuming little penny is worth a staggering $1.9 million. That's right, folks, 1 cent, almost 2 million bucks. Stick around because we're about to uncover why this coin is so valuable, how to spot one, and the wild story of someone who found theirs in the most unexpected place. Alright, let's kick things off with some history. The 1991 penny might not sound like much at first glance. After all, how many pennies have we seen from the 1990s? But this one is special. It's called a no mint mark penny because, surprise, surprise, there's no little letter under the date that tells you where it was minted. Normally, you'd see a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But this penny? Nothing. Nada. It's like it wanted to stay anonymous, but instead, it became a superstar at SO. Why the crazy price tag? It's all about rarity. Coins without mint marks are usually errors, and errors in coin production are like finding a typo in a best-selling book. It's rare, unexpected, and makes collectors go nuts. Only a handful of these 1991 no mint mark pennies exist, and that's what makes them so valuable. Let me share a little story here. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, was cleaning out his junk drawer. You know, that one drawer in your house that has everything from rubber bands to 10-year-old receipts. Anyway, Dave finds a penny, looks at it, and notices something odd. No mint mark. So, he Googles it and boom. He's holding on to a gold mine. Well, copper mine, technically. He sold it at an auction and walked away with enough money to buy a house. Talk about a glow up for a penny? Now, you're probably wondering how to find one of these bad boys. First, grab your penny jar, that cup holder in your car, or even check the couch cushions. Inspect the pennies from 1991 and look closely under the year. If there's no mint mark, you might just have hit the jackpot. And hey, while you're at it, check for any other unique features, misaligned text, double dies, or anything else unusual. Coin collectors love quirky coins. But here's the thing, it's not just about spotting one. You need to authenticate it. That's where coin grading services come in. They'll confirm whether your penny is the real deal and determine its condition, which can affect its value. A pristine no mint mark penny is like a unicorn in the coin world, rare and highly sought after. So, there you have it, folks. The humble penny that's worth nearly $2 million. If that doesn't make you want to raid your change jar tonight, I don't know what will. But remember, coins like this don't just teach us about money. They tell a story, remind us to pay attention to the small details, and who knows? They might just change our lives. Before you run off to start your treasure hunt, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich. Don't miss out. It might be the most profitable subscription you've ever made. And hey, let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin or what you do with $1.9 million. Have you ever been so broke you started counting pennies? Well, what if I told you one of those humble little Lincoln pennies could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Yeah, I'm serious. You could be walking around with $1 million penny in your pocket right now and not even know it today. We're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 2020 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. We'll talk about what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and why on earth someone would pay $1.8 million for it. So grab your coin jar, your magnifying glass, and maybe a cup of coffee because you're going to want to check your spare change after this. Let's get into it. All right, let's start with the basics. The D on the coin stands for the Denver Mint, where this little copper superstar was struck. Now, most 2020 pennies are just that. Ordinary pennies you'd find rattling around in your car's cup holder. But a select few have a rare error or unique feature that sends collectors into a frenzy. And when I say rare, I mean rare. This isn't like finding an extra nugget in your fast food bag. We're talking needle in a haystack levels of rarity here. Here's the kicker. The 2020 Lincoln penny we're talking about isn't just any penny. It has an error. Yes, you heard me. A mistake at the mint. Some of these coins have a double die error, where parts of the design, like Lincoln's profile or the lettering, appear doubled. Think of it like that time you sent a text message and autocorrect made it something completely bizarre. Except, instead of embarrassment, this mistake adds a ton of value. Collectors love these unique quirks because they're one of a kind, and apparently, they love them enough to pay millions. Go figure. Now, here's where you can start dreaming big. To identify if you've got the golden, or rather copper, ticket, you'll need a few tools. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and take a close look at the coin's details. Check Lincoln's face. Does it look doubled, like he had a little too much coffee that day? Look at the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date. Are they slightly doubled or distorted? Flip the coin over and examine the 1 cent inscription. Any doubling there could mean you've struck it rich. You might be thinking, who on earth pays $1.8 million for a penny? Collectors, my friend. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are like treasure hunters, always looking for that next rare find to add to their collection. Some people collect vintage cars, others collect rare coins. And just like someone might drop a fortune on a classic Ferrari, a serious collector is willing to pay big bucks for a penny with a fascinating story and historical significance. I'll admit, I once thought I struck it rich with a coin. I found an old penny in my couch cushions and was convinced it was worth thousands. I even bought one of those coin books to cross-check its details. Turns out, it wasn't worth more than, well, 1 cent. But hey, at least I cleaned my couch, right? That's the thing with coins. You never know until you look. And even if you don't find a fortune, the process is oddly satisfying. It's like playing the lottery, but without wasting money on tickets. All right, folks, now's the time to grab your change jar and start inspecting those pennies. Who knows? You could be holding a small fortune and not even know it. Remember, the 2020 Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just another coin. It's a treasure waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I post tips, strategies, and fun stories to help you uncover hidden gems in your spare change. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin or have a funny story to share. Who knows? Your story might be featured in a future video.